All right, friends, we back again with another video. You know who, man? JasonBlaha, Strength and Fitness, the lifting gym, vegan diet slave, the recruiting lifting slave. Yes, I'm gonna review this video too. He popped up. It's kind of interesting. Let's see what Blaha has to say. Blaha says, gaining muscle with no fat, gain bulk slow and eat clean. Oh, gaining muscle with no fat, gain. Okay, bulk slow and eat clean. Yeah, that's interesting.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here, and I thought I would sit down and do another video for you guys and gals. Let me get a sip.
It is, it's you, Jason.
My water first. My beautiful radio voice going, and let's talk about this. All right. On this topic of bulking, something I've been trying to tell people for a while now, again, an observation as a coach, observing stuff over the years, the ability of the human body to recomp when everything is perfect. Try to tell people, look, you can bulk and stay pretty lean. So when we say that you don't have to gain body fat to gain muscle, this gets confused because of competitive bodybuilding. And I think this is what creates the confusion. Because competitive bodybuilders and physique competitors get so lean that they cannot, absolutely cannot sustain that leanness, it creates the assumption that to bulk you have to gain fat. Well, no, in that case, these people have to gain fat because they can't sustain the level of body fat. When you diet down to contest levels, we need to be clear, for bodybuilding and physique contest level.
Who's dieting down to contest levels? The average person out there? The average person is not competing in these fake bodybuilding competitions, these drug competitions, dude.
It is unsustainable because it's unsustainable in terms of health. It's unsustainable in terms of everything from hormone functions in your body, everything else.
I thought fitness was healthy, Blaha. Oh, now he's telling you it's unhealthy.
And even your body has a tendency to even storing carbohydrates as fat in those conditions. So we need to be clear that we always say that humans don't store carbohydrates as fat under normal conditions. It's a trace amount.
Carbohydrates as fat? You store it as ATP. In muscle, it's an energy source, sarcoplasmic. Yeah.
In the liver and stuff, nothing under your skin. Even
yeah, some gets in the liver and the rest gets in the muscle.
in that case, de novo lipogenesis seems to as much as double for people who are really, really, really lean. It's still a small amount, but they start even storing carbohydrates as organ fat easier because they're in such a survival mode, they have to do that. Their metabolism downregulates. So when we talk about people having slower metabolisms, no one has a slow metabolism from dieting down to 12% body fat. Okay, it doesn't happen. That's nonsense. But dieting down to 5%, when you have,
I don't know, currently around 12. Okay.
Veins running.
What are you at, Blaha?
Running through your lower abs, you have veins running through the separations in your obliques. Yeah, at that point your hormones are down.
You have veins running through you because that is a lot of the steroids do that because they're toxic. They do these things to your body. They exude this look. So I can see a little bit of vein there popping out. We know you're on drugs, dude.
Regulating, you're going to see thyroid and everything slow down. So yes, these people will see slower metabolisms. So because of this sort of situation, their body is trying to do everything to gain fat to stay alive. So yes, for them to gain muscle, they're going to have to bulk hard enough to gain body fat, and they are going to gain body fat. Their body is going to preferentially gain.
So what they're doing is unnatural to their body by lowering the body fat. Your body only wants to keep you alive. That's right. I'll agree with that. Definitely, for sure. That's why going to very low body fat levels, your body sees that as critical. You're dying. And get it? You're dying. And you could die.
Quite a bit of body fat in a short period of time. But for those of you who are at a healthy lean, what? 10% body fat, 11% body fat, 12% body fat for men. Women, closer to, 18, 20%. You're lean, you've got abs. You don't have to give those up on a bulk. And that's what I'm telling people. It is not necessary to make gains in muscle to do that. So when we have novices bulk hard gainers, it's oftentimes a one-time thing. hopefully, and then they trim down and then they can lean bulk from there. But the fact of the matter is, you do not have to gain body fat. The people who gain body fat when bulking, who are trying to stay leaner, is because they eat too much junk, too much garbage. They don't have tight enough control of their food accordingly. So what I'm telling people is, we know the human body recompositions. We see advanced athletes recomposition in the gym. Okay? If you bulk pretty slow and you're not shredded already, you can make muscle gains while losing body fat to some extent. Yes, there's a sliding scale that determines how possible it is, but if your diet is pretty tight, you don't eat junk that messes you up at like a lot of saturated fat. You don't eat, a lot of refined sugars. You eat clean, right? Clean, plenty of protein.
There's no second chance in horse racing?
Whole food carbohydrates, poly.
Again, he's pushing the unnatural diet. You as a human, these are unnatural things. You can eat them, but they're not healthy for you. Again, you could put anything in your mouth. Doesn't mean it's healthy for you. You can eat bark. Listen, people are eating bark. They eat cinnamon. Cinnamon is the bark off a tree. You can eat cinnamon. It's nice and spicy and tasty. Doesn't mean it's healthy for you? No.
Saturated fats, fruits, vegetables. Like, if you're eating clean like this.
Yeah, eat these man-made fruits and vegetables, farmed fruits and vegetables. Yeah, these are great for you. Okay, whatever.
Your things like your insulin response are going to be better. Nutrient partition is going to be better. Thermic effects are going to be better.
I'm going to tell you what's going to be better. If you're on a natural diet, you eat natural food, natural animals, well, guess what? Everything is just going to be better. Everything is going to be better. That's right.
Body's going to be more prone to burning fat, right? Because again, even look at the fat types in the metabolic ward. We know that different types of fat make you burn fat at different rates, even with the same calorie intake. Okay? And it's been displayed in the lab.
Yeah, animal fat's going to help you burn fat. Okay, it's going to get your it's going to help with your mitochondria. It's going to keep it healthy. Mitochondria are the batteries that keep you alive.
With polyunsaturated causing it the most. So eating in a manner that helps with your nutrient partitioning and keeping the calories tight. In other words, if you gain weight slowly, and I get people who say, oh, that's too slow. How's a person going to make gains? But I'm like, you might even recomp. If your training is perfect, you are training really hard, really effectively with really good programming, and you're able to recover from it, all of the weight you gain is going to be muscle. So it doesn't matter if it's slow. So when I tell people to slow bulk, I'm like, gain a pound a month. They think you're crazy. They're like, oh, that's too slow. I'm like, what about if you can go slower? What if you gain 3 pounds over 6 months? You do realize that if everything is perfect, your diet's really clean, you're keeping the calories pretty tight. Keeping in mind progressive overload in your food is a thing too. Your TDE will go up if you keep it all dialed in right. And you may start stalling on what was previously a bulk. And I've seen this with a lot of my younger lifters who started skinny. Their maintenance sometimes goes up 1,500 calories over the course of a year or two. Their maintenance, just because of progressive food intake.
Maintenance? I don't understand this maintenance. If you build myofibrillar growth, you literally could eat 3 meals a day and it'll just stay because it's permanent. It's permanent. It doesn't just go away. Sarcoplasmic, though, will go away. Maybe some contractile proteins. If you build up contractile proteins and stuff, they'll go away. Depending on how much there is there, I don't know. That's a possibility. But mostly sarcoplasmic. You need to maintain it. Yeah.
So what I'm saying here is that if you keep it all tight, it doesn't matter. It's going to be all lean gains. And it doesn't matter if it's a little slower because you don't have to cut. And again, I say you don't have to cut if you're just trying to be lean and have abs. If you're trying to be 11, 12% body fat, you probably don't need to cut. If you get lean enough and you keep it tight and you do all this right, you may be able to work down to that over time anyways. Okay? Because if your weight gain is so slow that you're forced to recomp, and again, the diet facilitates it.
Again, weight gain, gaining weight. Okay.
Over time, you literally might be losing body fat while gaining muscle at least a decent rate.
How is muscle built, Blaha? How do you gain muscle? What type of muscle? What are you gaining there exactly?
But again, it requires people to have strictness to do this. That's the issue. The issue is not that it's impossible. It can be done. The problem is the strictness. Too many people feel like they have to
Can be done, the strictness, guys. Come on. You know Blaha. The strictness.
eat junk all the time. They have to do all the flexible dieting, and that actually does make it hard.
Yeah, have you seen what's in his basket, man? It's all junk food, tofu, pasta, and hot dogs.
Unless you are a true hard gainer, that actually makes it harder. Trying to work.
I got news for you, Blaha. You are what you eat. You see, here's the thing. I eat a natural diet right now, and I'm changing rapidly. 2 people told me recently, they looked at my face, because they can't really see my body, because I'm wearing a jacket and clothes. Because the temperature out here, it's still cold a bit, okay? So they looked at my face and they said, you have good skin. Now that, I go, okay, it can't be just coincidence. First, a person told me that, one person, and then a little bit later on, a second person told me that. Said, you have good skin. They looked at my face and said I had good skin, and I was like, what? I mean, I'm working on it. I'm working on it, definitely. But wow, when they told me that, I was like, okay, so that must be working. So eating seafood and animal diet is working for me. They said I had good skin. I'm like, okay, it feels smoother. It feels better and smoother, a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm thinking, yeah, okay, maybe, yeah, it's working. So I'm getting better. The whole point of going to a gym or eating good food is to get better. If you're not getting better, what are you doing exactly? You should be getting better. If something's interfering with you, making you worse, then cut it out and eat stuff that'll make you better. That's the whole point. You see what I mean? The whole point of going to the gym is not to destroy yourself, to lift the heaviest weight and be weakened or anything like that. It's to make yourself better. How do you make yourself better in a gym? By getting as many adaptations as you can. Now, how do you make your health better? By eating as many of the best natural foods as you can. Goat, I don't know, whatever's available out there. Sheep, goat, fucking oxtail, beef, yeah. Seafood, as much seafood as you can. All varieties of seafood, okay? Shrimps, whatever, I don't know. Oysters, clams, lobsters, crabs, whatever. Salmon, wild salmon, whole bunch of good stuff.
The junk in, because there are other negative effects in your body from doing that will affect your body composition over time, affect your recovery. But when you are eating quality foods of the right types and you keep a pretty tight control of the calories all the time, because again, it's just about discipline and leading a healthy lifestyle and not believing things like, if I don't have this cake or I don't have this pizza, I can't be happy. Or as I would tell people,
Cake and pizza doesn't exist in nature. Again, artificial food. He's so artificial.
cheat days are fine. If you run your diet super tight all the time, you can get away with probably a pretty massive cheat meal every 2 to 3 weeks and literally gain no fat from it. Because the amount you can gain from a single meal is very small, and if everything's dialed in right, you may actually literally burn it off. Because even when I did my last lean bulk and I put on 8 pounds over that time, hit my biggest bench and everything the entire time on YouTube, and I gained no body fat, I still every couple of weeks had a big pizza. But I ate ridiculously clean, ridiculously low fat, all fruits, whole grains, lean protein, the other 2 weeks straight in between. And I got away with it. But you do not have to gain fat to gain muscle and bulk. This only applies if you're really lean, or if you decide you're going to eat a junk diet, you're going to be looser in your diet, you may have to accept that. But the other thing is, if you're gaining so slow that it's like, well, this month I didn't even gain any weight, I'm like, but was the diet good? Was the diet good? Was the training perfect? Did you train really hard? Did you recover from all of it correctly? Did you have good fatigue management? You literally might have recompositioned that month. And isn't that still a win? If a person's goal is to get bigger and stay lean, and you have a month because your surplus was too small to even see a scale change, but everything was dialed in, and you lost the same amount of fat as the muscle you gained, which might have only been half a pound. It might have only been a few ounces. But our
What, Blaha really is into the cosmetic look, eh? More than ever. Man, he's really into bodybuilding, bro. He's fanatical now at this point.
you ahead of the game then?
It's driving him crazy because he wants this so badly, but it's not working for him.
Because you literally gained muscle while losing fat at the same time for the month. This is not a loss. This is not a negative. This is a win. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys and gals next time.
Yeah, I don't know how informative it was, but yeah, it was interesting. Definitely. I'll see you in the next one. Tell us what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel. Helps with the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one, broski. Ciao, man.